So just before we kick off, I just want to introduce Sunny and then hear all he has to say to us today. So good afternoon, Sunny, and welcome. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate that you could make it here today to talk to our clients about what you do and how you do it. So welcome.
Thanks, Christine. And I would also like to say thanks to Root for having me here. And I have a special connection with Root because when I came here 5 years ago, Root was the one who helped with me, my social insurance number. So that was a long time back. So that was my first interaction with Root. And ever since, that time I have been associated with Lee Song and Prude, and we have conducted, a lot of sessions there with you guys. So happy to be back here. And for those of you, who don't know me, I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Sunny Khosla. I'm regulated Canadian immigration consultant. And before that, I'm a CPA. I'm a CPA New Brunswick, and I'm also a CPA United States as well. So it's been 18 years. I'm part of professional industry and 15 years in the leadership roles. Before I started this venture, I worked for Royal Bank of Canada for 4 years and left as a branch manager. So we have our offices in St. John, Moncton, and we're opening our office in India as well. So we specialize in New Brunswick immigration. And today we will be discussing about the pathway to permanent residency. And being an immigrant myself, I understand how important it is to get the working rights on timely, in timely manner, and getting the permanent residency in timely manner. Because this is only the start of the journey. The actual journey starts after you get the permanent residency. And I understand that even if there are hiccups in the process and if there are challenges that you have, I can empathize with it. Reason being, I understand the end impact of it, because your permanent residency is not only connected to yourself, it is connected to your future decisions and your family as well. So we will try to make this session interactive one, and we will have a lot of Q&As. I will not spend a lot of time on these slides because most of the information that I'm presenting is available online. So this time is yours, and after I'm through with these slides, couple of slides that I have, we will open it up and you can ask for your questions that you have. We will not be discussing any case specific questions. For that, you can reach out to us after this session. But yes, we will try to answer as much as possible here. And Christine, a quick question: Is my voice audible? Is everything okay now? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Sure. Thank you. So we will start with different programs.
Louder, Sunny, if you don't mind. This is Rob.
Okay. So yeah, Rob says you could speak louder.
I will. Okay. Does it sound okay now?
Rob, is that okay? Yes.
I think a coffee sip will help. So let me try it now.
I hope so.
Okay, so there are different pathways to permanent residency, and we specialize in New Brunswick immigration. So we will be talking about few streams today. We cannot cover all in one session, but we can come back with other streams as well. So for the sake of this session, we're going to cover New Brunswick skilled worker stream, Atlantic immigration program, and New Brunswick express entry. So when we talk about New Brunswick skilled worker stream, why this stream is most popular among the candidates, students, or anyone is because proof of funds is not required for New Brunswick skilled worker stream. I have been approached by so many students and candidates. They say that, they cannot show the funds 14,000 or 21,000, which might be a requirement for different streams. So this stream is popular for those who do not want to show the proof of funds, and there's no income requirement for this one. No proof of funds required. But there is eligibility criteria for this stream. You need to have 60 points to be eligible for skilled worker stream. And when I say 60 points, this comprises of your age, your qualification, which is education, your experience, and your adaptability factors as well. So those who have studied here in New Brunswick, they don't need to have experience in any field, and they can apply for New Brunswick skilled worker stream for now. If that changes tomorrow, nobody knows. But as of today, if someone has studied in New Brunswick and they have completed their course, they can go for New Brunswick skilled worker stream if they can get 60 points. And most of the times, I think most of the candidates are eligible, considering if you've studied here, you get some extra points as well. And other than that, if I talk about New Brunswick skilled worker stream, The processing times, like I told you, the proof of fund is not required, experience is not required. These are the plus points of this stream. But the wait time is longer to get the permanent residency. Online, it says for any provincial nomination program, which is non-express, it takes up to 27 months. But our database shows that, clients that we have been dealing with, and this is our database, this is having nothing to do with IRCC. So we are seeing that most of the candidates are getting their permanent residency within 15 months. So I will not be surprised if people get their permanent residency in 15 months, but every case is different. So it could take up to 27 months as per the IRCC update, which is available on the CIC site. So for New Brunswick skilled worker stream, to quickly summarize it, you need 60 points to apply. And if you have studied here in New Brunswick, you don't need 1 year of experience. And if you have not studied here, then you need 1 year of experience. Job offer is required for this stream, which means that it is an employer-driven stream as well. You need an employer support form for this stream, which is called NB004 form. So if you're not getting that form from the employer, you cannot apply for this stream. So that is the mandatory requirement to have a NB004 form, that is an employer support form. Now we'll move on to Atlantic Immigration Program. This is the most popular program these days. A lot of people are moving from Toronto. A lot of people are moving from other provinces, I should say, to Atlantic provinces so that they can apply under Atlantic Immigration Program. And why this is popular? Because this is the quickest one to get the PR other than express entry. It takes up to 12 months as per the IRCC website to get permanent residency if you apply under Atlantic Immigration Program. However, most of the people are getting it, within 6 months, and that is again as per our database and as per the clients that we have processed the applications for. So that may be different from what others are seeing, and every case is different. So expect your permanent residency under this stream within 12 months. But job offer is mandatory for this immigration stream as well. And how this job offer is different from the job offer for New Brunswick skilled worker stream is, in this stream, you need a designated employer. It cannot be an offer letter from any employer. The employer needs to be in the list of designated employers that province publish on their website. And if you are getting the job offer from them, then yes, you can apply for this stream. And here as well, 1 year of experience is required in the same knockout, unless you have studied here with a publicly funded college for 2 years. So if you have studied for 2 years in NBCC, I'm just taking an example. If you've studied in UNB for 2 years, then yes, you are eligible for Atlantic International Graduate Stream, where no proof of funds, where no experience is required. And when I say 2 years, those who are doing UNB, MBA, accelerated MBA, though I know that it is equivalent to 2 years, but you cannot use that stream for Atlantic International Graduate, which means if you have studied from UNB and you have done MBA for 1 year in St. John, you would still need 1 year of experience. Those who have done UNB MBA from Fredericton, which is for 2 years, and you complete that in 2 years, then you can apply for an Atlantic International Graduate Program, where you don't have to show the experience. Other than that, you need a valid language score that is for all these streams. And why this stream is again popular is because you only need CLB 5, right? You only need CLB 5 for the, what's that? Christina, are you trying to say something? I just see. Okay, I just saw something on my slide. No, so you just need the CLB 5 in your English, in your English score. If you get it, then you're good. So it is an employer-driven program. So employer has to give you the endorsement letter. And then on the basis of that endorsement letter, your settlement plan is being prepared. And there are not-for-profits that prepare your settlement plan. And I'm not sure, Christine, is Prude still doing it or no? No, okay. So it is Newcomer Center. It is YMCA that is doing in St. John. And in Moncton, I know it's Magban that's doing as well. So once you get the settlement plan and once your employer has given you the employer offer letter, you can reach out to us if you need any help and we can represent you for AIP. So it is again a two-step process involved. The first step is you have to get the approval from the province. Once province will endorse you, then we will be going to federal government for getting the federal PR, for getting the permanent residency. The only difference between new NB skilled worker and Atlantic immigration programs certificate is, the endorsement certificate is, once you're nominated under NB skilled worker, they call it a nomination certificate. And once you're nominated under AIP, and actually I should say when you're endorsed under AIP, they call it endorsement certificate. Else the offer, the certificate plays the same role. Doesn't matter it's from NB skilled worker or whether it is from AIP. And here you have to have the legal status. So if you have applied for your work permit and you're in maintained status, still you can apply, provided you have the submission letter with you. So make sure that you have the submission letter that says that you have submitted the application. And other than that, if you've not studied here, make sure the 1 year of experience should be there in last 5 years. And when we say 1 year, it should be equivalent to 1560 hours, 1,560 hours. And it has to be within 1 year. It cannot be like in last 5 years, it should be in 1 year that you get 1560 hours.
Hello, do you have a question, Carlos?
No, sorry.
Okay.
And we will open up for Q&A in the end. I'm just left with 1 or 2 more slides, and then we will have an interactive conversation. So this is AIP, and now the last is NB Express Entry. They have recently opened. It's been a few weeks now, but it's been recently opened for student connection, for occupation in demand. It was already there, and for employment connection as well. So in case you have a valid Express Entry profile, if you already have it, and you have studied here in New Brunswick, then you can apply under student connection stream. Then you don't need the employer support form to be signed by the employer, though they may ask for the information of the employer support form, but employer doesn't need to sign it in case of student connection. In case you're applying for NB Express Entry employment connection, then yes, support form is required, and it's the same form that you ask under NB skilled worker, which is NB 004 form. But you have to create Express Entry profile here. You need to have 67 points before you can create your Express Entry profile. And you need to have at least 1 year of experience to create the Express Entry profile. So you cannot create an Express Entry profile if you don't have 1 year of experience. It is mandatory to have it. That is not a provincial requirement, that is a federal requirement. Other than that, proof of funds is required under this stream. And I will give you average number. It's not the exact number. For a family size of 1, it's around 13,500, and then family size of 2, it will go up, and accordingly it will keep going up. So the plus point for NB Express Entry is the processing time is quite fast. And we applied for a couple of candidates, and they received, actually, we were surprised as well. They received their PR in 1 month. That was the quickest one that we received, and that's for someone in UNB. But the average time frame for Express Entry is 12 months, and most of the people are getting it in 6 months. So if you don't have the issue with the proof of funds, then I think NB Express Entry is one option for you, because you're not looking for designated employer. It could be any employer who is in the province for more than 2 years operating the business, then you can go for NB Express Entry. And Express Entry is actually 1 year, and NB skilled worker, the employer needs to be in business for 2 years. So this is high level about different streams, but I know you have a lot of questions about how to proceed, what stream to select. And if we do it in Q&A, I think then most of the questions will be answered. So I will open it up, and you can ask your questions one by one, and we can discuss about these streams in detail. So restrict your questions to these 3 streams for today's session.
Thank you very much, Sunny. Really appreciate that. So now we have the question lines open. You could choose to speak if you wanted to, or if you want to put up a message in the chat box, that's appreciated as well. So let's know what your questions are. And then, like Sunny said, just restrict to those 3 areas, those 3 streams for due to time constraints. And if you have more questions, I'm sure you want to connect with Sunny to questions. So who's our first person to go? Chua, are you trying to say something? Well, while I'm waiting, let me go.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to say something.
Okay. Yetunde, are you saying something? So
I
you-
know I received an email from VFS Global.
Hello,
that
Yetunde.
they dispatched from IRC to VFS Global. But then I saw emails for that the three of them have been dispatched. But then when you go to my company to the account, no final decision has been made on my own.
No worries. Go to no final decision has been made on your own.
If you're not, hello, if you, excuse me, if you're not asking a question, please just mute yourself. Thank you. Please, sorry about that, everyone. I see a question here. Sonia has a hand up. Sonia, please, could you unmute yourself and speak?
Yes, thank you, Christine. So, hi, Sunny, good afternoon to you. I wanted to know, is it possible for us to apply simultaneously under NB Skilled Worker Program and NBPNP Express Entry?
No. Like you will be nominated only once, and you understand it this way. It's the same province who's issuing you the nomination certificate or who's giving you 600 points. And it is clearly mentioned that if you have been nominated for one of them, you cannot apply for the other one. And if your application is in progress for the NB Skilled Worker and you want to apply under NB Express Entry, you need to withdraw the first one. You cannot apply for two simultaneously. So the short answer is no.
Okay, got that. Thank you.
Any other question? Let me check. So
how many students we have here? Like I can see a lot of students sitting in, like a lot of clients sitting in the.
So we have 44 persons online, but I don't know how many of them are students and not.
Okay,
so maybe when they introduce themselves and they want to see if they're students or not.
Yeah. And why I'm saying because because these streams are very popular and they are very friendly for students because experience is not required for NB Skilled Worker. And then if you have graduated here and you have done a course for 2 years in AIP, you can apply under AIP International Graduate. That's the reason province is so popular right now. That's the reason immigration is happening, because immigration is very easy as compared to other provinces. When I say very easy as compared to other provinces. So this is your best time to ask any questions because generally we meet with appointments only. So this time is yours and you can ask me any questions. And if you're not getting questions connected to this stream, maybe you can go ahead and ask for any other stream. But again, ask questions because then only you will get answers. And if you're attending this session, I'm sure that you are interested in immigration. So I would encourage you all to ask questions connected to immigration because that may help you and others as well who are listening.
So I see a question here in the chat box. It says, if you didn't, sorry, just go. It says, if you didn't do a language test for your admission, do you need to do it now? Do it now for any of these PR pathways?
Yes, it is mandatory. And first thing that if you have applied for, like if you didn't do the language test, that's fine. You have to do it now. But take it this way, even if you did the language score before applying for a study permit, then it was IELTS academic, which is not acceptable. You have to go for IELTS journal or CELPEP. So in case you have given the IELTS exam, which is academic, and that was for the study permit, that you cannot use for the PR process. We highly recommend use IELTS journal only. So yes, it is mandatory to have a language score and it depends on different streams what you're applying for, and your score will depend on that, what you need.
Thank you very much. And then I have another one from Michael. He says, hi, Sarah, I just joined now. Please, is there any application available through a faster entry for a bilingual student doing his MBA program now and has a valid French exam and WES done?
It depends on the score and also the French strategic, though we are not covering it here, but I will give you an answer. The French, like the NV strategic stream, that is on pause right now. They're not collecting any more applications for that. But yes, you do have an option to go for that. But if you're a student, you're bilingual, I think there could be, any other stream that is available for you. And I would say have an advice-based conversation with us or just, do more research because I think there could be other options for you. And considering you're bilingual, the process could be easy because then you have English score and you have the French score as well, depending on the score, because bilingual is fine, but we need to check what that score looks like.
Hope that one answers, hope that answers your question, Michael. And then I have another one from Eboluwa. She says, please, for the AIPP pathway, will a 2-year part-time job count for this purpose? And then also, can one make use of work experience gotten when schooling? So that's a good.
Can you come again, Christine? I missed.
Okay, so she has 2 questions. Does a part-time job count towards the AIPP pathway? And then secondly, so as a student who is currently working under student hours, right? Are those hours eligible towards the AIPP application?
Sure. So see, till the time these are paid hours, you will be counting them. But please ensure that when I'm telling you last 5 years, you need 1 year of experience. So yes, part-time hours are completed, but in case you are completing 15, 60 hours, which does not fall under a circle of 1 year, then you have to make up for those hours. So part-time hours while you're working as a student will be counted in AIP program, provided it's a paid one. It cannot be unpaid. And it's now AIP. It used to be AIPP because it was a pilot program, but now it's a permanent program. So it's not AIPP anymore. It will be only AIP, which is Atlantic Immigration Program. When it was pilot for 5 years, it was Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So they have got rid of 1P now.
Thank you. And then I have another question. It says, please, which of these 3 is the fastest route to permanent residence?
I would say NB Express Entry and AIP. Personally, I feel these 2. And my personal opinion, again, this is on the basis of the database that we have. I feel AIP is much faster if I have to pick one, but AIP and NB Express Entry both are okay. But the only thing is that in NB Express Entry, you need proof of funds. And then you have to meet other eligibility criteria as well. So depending upon what you are eligible for, then you have to see which one is the fastest one, because I get questions from clients every time this question, which one is the fastest? First thing is we need to check, we need to assess what stream you're eligible for. Then in case you're eligible for all 3 of these, then you can pick AIP. But if you're eligible only for skilled worker, doesn't matter what other skills, like what other streams have to offer. If you're not eligible, then you have to go for only skilled worker, and the 15 months or 27 months is the fastest for you.
Yeah, just a further question on that. So for the AIPP, that's for someone who has chosen to stay within a province. But if the person is interested in going as like living anywhere in Canada, would that still be eligible? Would that still be advisable for someone who intends to move around the province within the next year?
Within the province or outside province?
Sorry, outside the province.
Yeah, so all these streams that I talked about, they have to stay in the province.
I wanted to.
It's only under Canadian Experience Class, which is CEC. Again, their proof of funds not required, but you need 1 year of in Canada experience, and then you can move outside. Or in case you're not using NB Provincial Nomination Program, it's the Express Entry profile, and you already have a score of whatever the cutoff is, maybe 490, 498. And if you do not use New Brunswick nomination certificate, then you're fine. But in case it is NBPNP, doesn't matter what stream it is, if province is issuing you a certificate, any kind of certificate, whether it's 600 points, whether it is endorsement certificate under AIP, whether it is a nomination certificate under skilled worker, you have to stay because province is supporting your immigration application. So take it this way, whenever you're looking for a support from the province, you need to stay here for 2 years.
For 2 years.
After the clock, and the clock starts after you get the PR.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so I have a question here. It says, hi, Sonny, for the student connection, proof of fund is required. So I don't quite understand, like for the student connection.
It is required. It's a requirement of Express Entry. So because it's student connection, you're applying for NB PNP Express Entry. So it's a requirement for Express Entry. So yes, you need it. For NB skilled worker, which is not a student connection, for NB skilled worker, you don't need proof of funds, which is non-express.
Okay, and then let me scroll down. Someone says, Adewale says, if I don't have a connection to NB, can I still apply under the NB Express Entry platform?
But how, if you don't have a connection, like
NB, maybe not a student, and then maybe no family ties or anything, if they can still apply under the NB.
No family ties are required, but for applying for PNB, there are 3 streams only available. Either student connection, or employment connection, or third is the occupation in demand. For now, the invites are being sent only for these three. For family connections, they pick it randomly only, but it's not that you will get it every time. But on the website, if you see only three of them, occupation in demand, which is random as well, NB student connection and employment connection. If you don't have any one of these, I don't know how you will apply because I need to understand more. And if you are here in this session and if you are in New Brunswick, then you have some kind of connection. So I would say just to reach out to us and we can discuss it in detail because this is case specific.
All right, thank you. Then I'll move on to the next question. And this is from Yetunde. And she says, what option is available for students who are enrolled for a 2-year program in a private college in New Brunswick?
Yeah, so you cannot apply for AIP International Graduate, which means no, for international graduate, there is no experience requirement. So you have to put cross there. So now you need at least 1 year of experience in a same NOC code if you are applying under AIP, and it has to be a job offer from the designated employer. Other option is you go for NB skilled worker, which is time consuming, but again, it depends on what you are eligible for and you don't need any experience there. Third option is NB Express Entry. If you have already 1 year of experience and you meet one of those 3 criteria of connection, then you can apply under that. So you are still eligible if you've done it from, and when you say private, okay, the private as well, there are 2 things. You see, one is not publicly funded, another is private colleges like, I don't know if I should name, I will name all of them. Say Alton College, Mackenzie College, Atlantic Business College. So these are the private ones. So are you talking about these colleges or are you talking about Crandall, which is not the publicly funded university? So my answer was connected to the Crandall, not to these private colleges, because for these private colleges, you're not even getting the PGWP. You are applying under the new stream that they started. So it depends, because this question, we have to break it into 2 parts. So in case you're talking about Crandall University, yes, you are eligible for NB skilled worker and NB skilled worker, AIP with 1 year of experience, NB Express Entry. If you're talking about private colleges, first you need to get PGWP or any working rights. Because once your course is finished, on what status will you be applying for PR? Because all these streams requires you to be in status before you apply for PR.
Okay, and before I go to the next questions, I think I saw someone in the prod room raise their hand. Rob, do you have any question?
Sorry, Christine, it's in the chat now, just the last one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question here is from Johnny. She said, for student connection, once you get the diploma, proof of experience is mandatory and must be in Canada. So I think the question is proof of experience mandatory in Canada after you have your diploma?
In Express Entry, like if you're talking about NB Express Entry student connection, which is Express Entry, 1 year of experience is required. Doesn't matter it's in Canada or outside Canada. Because you cannot create your Express Entry profile. And to create your Express Entry profile, you need 1 year of experience. So it doesn't say in Canada, because anyway, once you become a diploma holder, once you receive your degree, you will not have 1 year of experience in Canada because you were studying.
Fresh. All right, thank you. And then I have Camilo again says, for the student connection, proof of fund is required.
It is, yes. It is a requirement of Express Entry.
And then Sonia comes in again. She says, I'm working on a 1.6-year contract for an Ontario-based employer and completed MBA here in St. John. And should I declare this while applying under the student connection of MBPMP Express Entry?
Yes, because if you don't declare it, they get to know it would be considered as misrepresentation, and that may impact your application negatively. And I can tell you there are, again, this is not connected to PR stream, but off late we are seeing this a lot. There are a few clients who applied for US visa in past. Their US visa was refused, and they forgot to mention in their application of study permit or maybe permanent residency, whether it was negligence or intentional. I will not get into that, but they said they have never got a visa refusal. So someone got the permanent residency and someone got the study permit. It's a live case, I'm telling you. But they receive a letter after that that you're banned for 3 years because you didn't declare that.
Wow.
So keep that in mind. And these are live cases I'm talking about. This is not a case study.
Thank you. And then Pedro says, if you entered Canada under a closed work permit within the global talent stream, can you apply for a New Brunswick provincial permanent residency if you were living in MB for 1 year, but your work is remote for a company in Ontario?
It depends on under what stream you want to apply. I think high level, because I don't have a lot of details. So you don't fall under NB Express Entry student connection. You don't fall under NB Express Entry employment connection. You may fall under NB Express Entry occupation in demand. I don't know your knock code or the tier system, like the new knock code that you have. But NB skilled worker, if you have 1 year of experience and then your age, qualification, work experience, and adaptability factor brings you to 60 points, then yes, you can apply.
Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Pedro. So I have another one from Indy. She says, I'm in the express entry pool and have about 320 points. How do I get a job offer to enable my chances for a provincial nomination to NB?
So you said 320 points?
320.
Yeah, so anyway, you need 600 points from the province. It's too low right now because the cutoff is 490 something. So the only way you can apply is, and that person has studied here, Christine, can you repeat that? Have they studied
No,
here?
she says, how do I get a job offer to enable my chances for a provincial nomination? So she knows it's low already, but how does she boost up with a better job?
But under what stream? Under what stream they want to apply? Like, again,
she's just in the pool. I don't know. And if you could add more information.
So if you need to, because if you're in the pool and because you mentioned pool, so I'm assuming you're talking about express entry, else pool
Yes,
will not
express
come in.
entry pool.
So if you're talking about express entry.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, Angie. Welcome. So you could just speak. Hello, Angie, are you still there? I don't know if she's having a network issue.
Hello.
We can hear you. Yes, Angie,
Okay.
please just ask the question directly to Sunny.
I'm currently in the pool, but I'm told. Okay, hello, Sunny.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so yes, I'm currently in the pool. So I was wondering, how do I get employment opportunity to be able to get a provincial nomination? I don't have a job offer yet, and my score is 320 points. I'm still based in Nigeria.
Oh, so you're talking about a job offer to get
I'm
while you are in
thinking-
Nigeria?
Yeah, I'm thinking that those are my chances to permanent residence. Yeah.
I will give you a realistic answer. It's not easy because I don't want to, though, yes, in case you have friends here and you have common connections, ask them to connect you to employer. And if they want to hire you with your skills, then yes, but they need to demonstrate the labor shortage, which means they have to show they're not able to find any Canadian permanent residents or citizen for this job. They have to advertise the job for 30 days. If they don't find anyone, then they can help you out. So make sure you use your referrals. If you're just applying online, you will be lucky if you get an offer this way, or you can go to job banks. Many consultants and people will say go to job bank, apply there. But most of the time, it's not easy to get a job offer. And I'm telling you realistically because we get these cases all the time. So the best way for you to get the job offer would be use your connections and ask them to connect you to employer. And if they can bring you in front of employer, they can hire you, then only you will get 600 points.
So other than that, Sonny, what are my chances? Other than a job offer?
Yeah, so I don't know your case yet, right? I will be asking a lot of questions when you reach out to us, like family size, age, and a lot of other things. So let's not discuss case specific thing, but you asked me how to get the job offer, I told you. But realistically, it's not easy. And it all depends on your skills as well. Like I know there is a labor shortage for nurses. Again, then there are a lot of, food industry people who are bringing food supervisors, chefs, cooks. So it depends on your skills and what employer is looking for. But the best way to start the process is either you talk to your friends and they can connect you to employer, or in case you need a detailed advice, you can book a consultation with us.
Okay, so Andy, maybe you just want to connect with Sunny after this, and his
Sure.
email details are on the screen. And then maybe you could ask more specific questions. Hope that helps. Okay, so the next
Yes, it
question.
does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining. So the next question I have here is, what program can people age 60 and above apply for? So for seniors.
Not like, see, for AIP, the age limit for AIP, I think for NB skilled worker, it's up to 55 express entries. Then there will not be a lot of streams available for you. Honestly, if you can find an employer, get a work permit, then that's the way. I would. So it depends if you have a family here and are you looking for a parent, grandparent visa, sponsorship, it depends, but chances will not be very high with that age.
All right, thank you. And then the next question from Amy says, I have 12 years work experience and I also have an MSc already, but currently studying for my MBA at St. John. Do I need to wait till I complete my program to start applying for these programs? And which one would you advise?
Short answer is yes, because as a student, you can't apply for a couple of streams if you will go through the checklist. So you should wait for your, because you need to understand that if you don't do it, you are conflicting with the intent to study. Though you can apply, nobody is stopping you, but whether you get the nomination or not, it's up to the province. Chances are very remote for you getting it, because if one person gets it, a lot of people will start doing it. So province will not promote it if I am in the issues. This is what my understanding is. So you need to wait, and the best stream for you will be either express entry or AIP, or again NB skill work. It depends on a lot of factors what you're eligible for. If you're eligible for all three, then either express entry or AIP. If you're eligible for all three. If not, whatever you're eligible for, that's the best option for you.
Thank you. And then Johnny says, many thanks. And then Carlos says, if I receive a job offer from an AIP designated employer, should I apply immediately to the PR?
Yeah, because if you have an employer, and it all depends, again, I will break this question into two parts, whether it's an existing employer who's endorsing you, or if it is a new employer. If it is an existing employer, I think, yes, go for it right away. There is a purpose behind it. Employer wants to retain you. And in case it's a new employer, it's always good to apply right away. What if, an example, recession starts and they don't need any more workers? So never sit on the application. Sooner you apply, better it is, because nobody has seen tomorrow. And immigration rules may change tomorrow, and that letter may not help you.
That's a good one. All right, thank you. And one says, hi, I'm a student about to complete my one-year diploma program in London, Ontario for business analysis. I have my West done and will be doing my CELPIP soon. I would like to know which would serve me better, getting an LMIA approved job or just having a one-year job experience. My current score is 437.
Yeah, so first thing, getting LMIA is not easy. It sounds very easy to talk about LMIA. It's not easy because the employer has to demonstrate labor shortage. So I would say we always encourage provincial nomination, AIP, and express entry, because reason being, not many employers will get into LMIA. Not many, I'm not saying not everyone, but not many will promote that because of the paperwork and effort behind it. And so the best option for you will be 1 year experience. And that should be here in the province if you are planning to move because you've not studied here. So you can take experience in Ontario if you want to move here, that's fine. 1 year of experience is required in whether here or outside, doesn't matter.
Thank you. And then next question is, I also have an MSc from UK and over 10 years work experience. Well, that's all I see.
Yeah, and also when you say you have 10 years of experience, I'm assuming the age is going up as well. So I would love to know more about it because the moment you say 17 years of experience, you are gaining points for that. But somewhere around the line, for example, if I have 18 years of experience, it took me 18 years to get it. And if I started working after 18, it's 36 now already, right? So this is how immigration works as well. One thing will bring your point up, another will bring it down in a form of age. So we need to look into a lot of other factors to answer this question.
And then Itunde says, thank you. Sonia says, thank you for clarifying. Sunny point noted. And then Patience says, I am a prospective student. Can I still apply for the express entry pathway?
Well, nobody is stopping you from applying. You can, provided you're eligible. But when you say prospective students, I'm assuming you're not inside Canada. I'm assuming that, I may be wrong. If that's the case, it's not easy to get nomination and PR because there are a lot of factors considered. You may not reach the points that you need. If you're reaching, that's fine. But then NB skilled worker needs employer support form, which means you need an employer. If you're a prospective student and you're outside Canada, it's not easy to find an employer. So keep that in mind. I would say that if you already have a study, like you said, prospective. So if you've applied for study permit and go for that. If not, then you can look for employers. But realistically, I'm telling you, not as a consultant, as a professional as well. It's not easy to find an employer because they have to demonstrate labor shortage. It's not that anyone can issue the offer letter. Most of the people think, okay, if I can get an offer letter, no, it has to be specific employer. For example, they are running the business for last 2 years. Then they have to demonstrate labor shortage. They have to demonstrate recruitment effort. So not many employers are doing it. Let me be very honest here. And this is again our personal opinion on that. So a lot of employers might be doing it, but realistically, it's not easy to find employers unless you are, from healthcare industry, food industry, plumbers, carpenters. There is always a shortage. Then so I'm hopeful that you might get an employer. Other than that, if you're, for example, IT guy, accountants, how will employers show they're not able to find an employee here? I will give you an example. I'm representing so many students who are doing masters here or MBA, and they have great skills. So if employer has to hire them, they will be firstly referring to those candidates. So I personally feel with the immigration that is happening, especially the MBA batch and NBCC, all these students, I would say, they're bringing great skills. So sometimes, taking a course is only to get the permanent residency and sometimes to upgrade their skills. But they are very qualified, competition is going up, and I'm highly impressed with the knowledge and skills that they bring. I think I learn each day from them as well when I'm talking to them. So they're bringing great skills.
Awesome. Thank you. And then I have, okay, same person says, thank you. Okay, can I apply for an open work permit after my postgraduate work permit?
What? How will you apply for open work permit unless you fall under a public policy? Like postgraduate work permit, it's only once in a lifetime. If you have applied once, you cannot apply again. In COVID, a lot of exceptions came, extension was there, and now on 6th April, they are all again allowing people whose work permit has already expired or about to expire. But other than that, how will you apply for open work permit? I don't know. My understanding is, again, I don't have more details to answer this, but short answer is no.
Okay, so just to follow up on that, because I remember some of the students during the MBA program got like 1 year work permit. So someone who has 1 year work permit and they're not able to get a job, what's your best advice, for them to be able to extend their stay without applying for another work permit?
Yeah, so the best advice would be make sure you take the advice from either professional or someone who knows immigration. Why I'm saying it, because most of the time we are thinking about how to get an extension or how to get an open work permit instead of focusing on how to get the permanent residency. Because if you apply for a right stream, then you can apply for employer-specific work permit with the employer support letter, the support letter from the province as well. So we have a lot of clients who have got 1 year of visa, and PGWP. And that's where they applied for PR. And now when the time comes, we'll apply for their employer-specific work permit. Open work permit, you will not, I should not say you will not, but most of the times you're not eligible for that. Because why will you get open work permit? There has to be a stream available to apply for that. So engage professional if you're not sure. I always feel there are two people who can do it well. Either one who don't know anything about the immigration, because then they will reach out to the professional. Other who knows 100%, then do it yourself. I'm really worried about people who have 50% of the knowledge or 60%, because half knowledge is more dangerous than no knowledge.
That's a good way to put it. Thank you. Okay, and so next, Emmanuel says, thank you for the detailed explanation. Okay, and then Sonia says, thanks Eton for asking that question, Christine. Needed clarity for students, not with job, and then on 1 year post-work. Yes, I know during my set it was a lot of it was a big headache to a lot of people with just 1 year work permit. And like you said, I think it's better to just focus on getting the permanent residence than trying to extend the work permit, because somehow students, I think, and I know IRCC has changed some of the policies, and students some of them are able to apply it while studying. There are a lot of changes, and so there are more options, and it's good to know that those options exist. So thank you for the clarification.
Yes, and also I would say to succeed, not only for PR, but your journey in New Brunswick or Canada. Being an immigrant, I myself learn each day. So I would say make sure you learn the cultural difference as well. Once you learn it, that will allow you to get the job offer very easily. Because sometimes the way we are positioning it might not be the right way to position a job. That's why we're not getting a job. And this is for in-province people. So because every culture or every country has their own work culture. So understand the work culture, how to apply for a position, and how to do the follow-ups. Because sometimes what I am seeing here, that a lot of aggressive follow-ups are being done, which is not the right way to approach. That could be a cultural difference. So do not do a lot of aggressive follow-ups. Make sure when you're meeting people, make connection, and intent should not be the job. If you have strong connections, you will automatically get a job. But if you're going only for a job, most likely you will not get a job.
It's good to put that out there, because sometimes one of the guest speakers I had, when she said there's a difference between networking and what's the other one again? That sometimes it's just relationship building and networking are very different. So sometimes people just, in trying to build relationship, think networking. Then networking is more, how do you say, transactional. You just want to go out there, here's my card and things like that. But whereas the relationship building helps you get to know the person, know how you can help them solve a problem, and then how they can in turn help you solve it. And so you're building a relationship. And so when you need something, they will genuinely be there for you, and not just, trying to network for networking purposes. So thanks for
I agree. It should be organic. And I know you all need jobs. I know most of you are reaching out there, and the other person knows that as well. But if you're just talking about that every time, then that's where your chances of getting that job goes down. It's not that you don't have to mention that at all. But positioning plays a key role. Your skills you already have on papers, but that is just one paper. How you position those skills when you're meeting with people, when you're doing a follow-up, everything is getting noticed and points are being noted, because getting fit in a culture is more important, because skills you will get while you're on the job, and anyone can train you. But if there is some aggressive follow-ups, nobody wants that in the organization. That thing happens as well, and I'm seeing it. And as being an immigrant, I want to share that, because I'm myself an immigrant. I learned so many things when I landed here, still learn each day. So I have no intention to say anything wrong. But I think being an immigrant, we should understand that when we come here, there is a cultural difference, and we should be open to learn the culture. And Atlantic Canada culture is beautiful. I can tell you personally that it's one of the best culture that I have seen. I have been traveling all over the world, 17 years. So this is one of the best culture that I have seen. People are so nice here. They want to help you. Let's maintain that.
Thank you very much. I see Sonia sending a heart of thanks. So good. So I've exhausted all the questions I have in the chat box, and then we have about 6 minutes before the end of the session. And I had some questions, and I think I can only ask like 1 or 2. So every time I meet entrepreneurs or people who do things they're passionate about, I always have that question: what's the story? I'm like, how did you get involved in this business as an immigration consultant? And why are you so passionate about what you do?
For me, first thing is I struggle a lot when I applied for my permanent residency. So I was on the other side where you are. So I'm Australian resident as well. So I got my Australian residency 5 years back. So why I'm passionate, because when I was trying it 10 years back, I was not getting the right advice. And I would not be, and I can share with you openly, like in consultants in India, they charged me some money. And that was for the advice, like for the wrong advice, I would say. So the trusted advice was missing. So I wanted to ensure when I get into the business, though we meet with appointment only, we charge, but we ensure that the value for money is there and we never give a wrong advice. We are always there to ensure we can say no more than saying yes. Reason being, we don't want that, because a lot of plans are connected with the permanent residency. And I understand that, like your future goals, you have to settle, you have children. So why I'm passionate, because I understand all that. And I struggled when I was doing it myself 10 years ago. So that's the reason when I have been doing immigration in India as well. So, I've traveled to states, a lot of countries. I have helped people there as well, but here it's a regulated profession. So I had to get the license. While I was with RBC, I was preparing myself to get the license, or experience already I was having. And because I understand the struggles that are involved, and I would not be even, I would be open to share here as well that a lot of wrong things happen in the profession. There are consultants available who want to charge tons of money to bring you here. So just stay away from that. Because if you're offering them, then only they're taking it. So it's just do not go for a quick result, and just make sure that you're talking to trusted advisors so that you get the trusted advice. It comes at a cost. Nothing is free here because everyone has their expenses, but at least you get the trusted advice.
Oh, that's good to know. At least now I know, because I know there's always something that's motivating someone to do something that they're passionate about. And so the next question would be, what do you like, or what's the most exciting thing about your job? And what do you like the least? So
Honestly,
what do
when
you like most, and what do you like the least about the job?
the most that I like is sometimes people share their, and again, not sometimes, every time people share their stories, and some of these stories are heart touching, which I cannot share. There are so many things going on in everyone's life. And then when I'm in a position to help them out, that gives me the most satisfaction. And I cannot share what all they share with me, but sometimes I get emotional, though I have to keep the emotions aside because being a professional, I cannot, but I understand what they are saying. So that's what the most exciting part about my job, that I'm in a position to help them and guide them when they are not in a frame of mind where they are listening to others. And as a professional, if I give them a right advice and then they succeed, I'm more happy. What I don't like is follow-ups at 12 o'clock at night and 1 o'clock at night, and people call me up. So I have a family as well. People need to understand. So give me that time. I work 7 days a week, but not 24/7. I work 12 hours a day.
That's good. I know entrepreneurs are told like you work 2/7, but I like what you said about like 7 days a week, but not 2/7. That's a good way to put that, because again, you're only human, and then you have to do what you have to do for your family and
I'm
yourself.
married as well. So those who are married, they understand.
Exactly. I get that. Thank you so very much. I don't think we have any other questions, and then I'm out of time and I can't ask any more questions, but I would love to. So maybe someday we could have a follow-up session to this, and then maybe we could get a chance to ask some of those questions. So on that note, as those in the movie industries will say, it's a wrap. And so I just want to thank you so much, Sunny. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, for sharing such valuable information with us and with everyone, and for responding, providing answers to all the questions to the best of your ability. Thank you so very much. And then everyone on this call, I want to thank you for spending your lunch hour with us. You could be anywhere else, but you choose to be here to be a part of this program, to learn from Sunny and then see what Crude has to offer. So thank you so much. And I want to encourage you to join us on Wednesday, and then next week again, Mondays and Wednesdays, so you can continue to learn from all the resources we have in the community. So thank you so much, Sunny and everyone. Really appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Sunny. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.